Hi everybody, my name is Jim with Full Moon Adventure Club, and today we're going to be reviewing this portable solar generator by OKMO. This is a G1000. It is a 1000 watt pure sine wave inverter that is capable of being charged by using an AC adapter, a car cigarette lighter adapter, or even 200 watts worth of solar. So I'm going to be going over the pros and cons after we run this through some tests, so stay tuned for that. If you are interested in picking one of these up and this is in your wheelhouse, I will put an Amazon link down below that'll take you straight over there so you can check that out. Now this is 1000 watts, pure sine wave inverter. It says it has a peak of 2000 watts. And basically you can connect a lot of different things to this. It has an 1100 watt hour battery, which is around 30,000 milliamps of power that you can store inside of it. So it's really great for running electronics and laptops and phones and lights and all kinds of stuff while you're out camping in an off-grid power emergency situation. It will run a refrigerator, it'll run lights, a TV, it'll run, you can run little coffee makers and stuff off of it, but you have to be careful because some coffee makers take up to 1500 watts and it's not going to handle that. But some of the smaller ones, it definitely would, a blender, things like that. But I'm going to run this through some tests. And I've been using this for about 4 or 5 weeks now. They sent this to me for review for free. And of course, they always want me to do it in like a week or two, but I like to hold on to stuff as long as I possibly can to kind of run it through the paces and make sure nothing's going to fail, and I'm not going to discover anything over time. And it also gives me more opportunities to do more testing, to see how portable it is, to see how convenient it is, and to see what it can actually run. So without further ado, why don't we jump into this guy, and I'm going to show you all the plugs, outlets, features, things like that. We'll run it through some tests. I'm going to test it on my double door LG refrigerator. I'm going to test it on a little air conditioner that goes in the window, 5,000 BTU AC unit. I'm going to test it on some power tools and use it for some other fun things, and I'll just show you the testing and all the stuff that I came out with. And right after that, I'll tell you the pros and cons, things that I like and things that I think need to be improved, and you can decide whether or not this is for you. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so when it comes to the unboxing, we're pretty well packaged here. You have little corner protectors, styrofoam, all that good stuff inside. And as we open up the inner box, you're going to have your instruction manual, your car charger, and your AC adapter there. And then some styrofoam and the unit itself. Let's get the box out of the way. The unit itself is built like a brick. It's got really nice handles, feels really sturdy, looks good. So no complaints when it comes to all of that. Let's check out the features. Now on the front, you're going to turn on the power button. And then you're going to hold down the AC button there to turn on the 1000 watt pure sine wave inverter that will provide 1000 continuous watts to all 3 of these plugs. You'll notice that hole underneath the plug is for when you have something with a third prong. However, there's nothing metal in there, so it's not actually grounded. It's just so that it fits into place, which is fine. That's how a lot of things work, really. It's just you need the 2 main components there. Then you have your DC in port and your PV in port. So the bottom one is for solar charging, the top one is for your car, a cigarette lighter adapter, or your 117 watt AC wall adapter, which can charge in about 10 hours using the AC. You can charge in about 9 hours using your car adapter, and you can charge in 6 hours with 200 watts of solar panels down below, but you have to have that 200 watts, real sunny conditions and all that good stuff. Now for the DC outlets over here, you do have a PD port that's good for 60 watts, great for charging laptops and things like that. Super high-speed charging USB 3.0 port, and then 2 other normal USB ports that will charge at 2.1 amps a piece. So then you have your cigarette lighter adapter over here, and you also have these 2 plugs on top where you can add more cigarette lighter adapter plugs or anything that uses that particular type of connection in order to power more devices. So it's got a lot of stuff that you can really plug into this guy, which I really like. The only thing that I would really ask for more of is more information on the display, the little display right here. So you do have what sections are turned on, be it the USB section, the DC section, or the AC power section. But there's no incoming watts, no outgoing wattage, no time remaining. All you have is the little battery bar display to tell how much power you have left in the unit. So I would like to see more information there other than just what sections are turned on. I would like to see some incoming wattage, outgoing wattage, time remaining, things of that nature with that display. Now, I did set up a little thing outside using just the OKMO to run my laptop computer, which I then threw over to a 32-inch TV. And also a little later on, we even hooked in a Harman Kardon Bluetooth speaker, and we were watching my friend Trey's debut on Lifetime there in a movie he was in. We had a little viewing party. It was so much fun. And it ran that all night. It really did, about 7 or 8 hours. And then we're going to go ahead and try testing this on my giant LG double door refrigerator, and we're going to see exactly how long it'll run that. So why don't we jump into that test right now. So what I have going on here is basically just a timer set up, a watt meter plugged into the OKMO, and then a time-lapse camera going. You can tell there's no power going to the refrigerator right now. The knock on the door doesn't work, the lights, none of that. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the power button, and then we're going to hold down the AC button to turn on the inverter. And once that kicks on, you'll see our watt meter kicks on there. And now the refrigerator does indeed have power. You can use the ice maker, you can get water, all the lights work, the compressor's on. And we're gonna run that time lapse to see just exactly how long we can run this giant LG double door refrigerator. So as we go to the time lapse, we're gonna see that, let's see, here we go. The refrigerator itself usually takes around between 30 and 130 watts to operate, depending on what it's doing, making ice, doing whatever. And then occasionally when the compressor kicks on, we will get up to around 350 watts, which is about the most that I ever really saw it get up to. But for the most part, it's running between 150 and 30 watts during most of the day. And this was normal operation. We were using the ice maker. We were getting stuff in and out of the fridge, etc. And we did make it all the way until 8 hours and 16 minutes rather. So that's really, really impressive. I like that. That's a good job. In a power outage, that'd be a really, 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 really handy thing to have. Now we're going to move on to a 5,000 BTU air conditioner that I was testing as part of a different video series I'm doing. And a lot of units can't run a window unit, air conditioner. 5,000 BTU air conditioner is going to take anywhere from 350 to 500 watts when in operation, but they have a really big surge when the compressor kicks on. And this guy did pretty well until about 1 hour and 40 minutes. And then that was all, one of the compressor cycles took it out. So it stopped right there. It did work for about 1 hour and 40 minutes, but then something got it. And typically, anything less than a 1500 watt inverter is probably going to run into this problem from the compressor surges. So I was impressed that it made it as long as it did, but this isn't a viable unit to run a window unit AC. Moving on to power tools. I tried this on some sanders, and of course it's going to charge all of your power drill batteries and things like that, but it did just fine. I wouldn't recommend it for, say, big chop saws, because they can typically run at 2,000 watts. Just getting them going. So for smaller stuff like this, it works perfect. For charging batteries, it's going to be just fine. For huge draw like table saws or chop saws, you're going to want to go a little bigger than this unit probably. But for small stuff, this was super convenient and I liked it. Also, I had a battery die on my car, or my girlfriend's car, and I actually, instead of running an extension cord all the way out there, I just set that on the dash, ran the wires through the window, and hooked up my little battery trickle charger overnight, and just let it pour all of that power into the battery nice and slow so it'd really top it off correctly, and it wasn't like a really hard jump start where you run the engine for a while and charge it up a little bit. I wanted to make sure that we saved the battery, ran it all night, and this was so much easier than running extension cords and everything else for that purpose. So that was pretty cool. Now you may be asking, but can it pull 1,000 watts continuously through the entire cycle of the battery? So what we're going to do now is test that. And as you can see, what we're doing is we're running a space heater here that's going to run off about 1,000 watts on low and probably 1,500 watts on high, but we're going to set it to low, and you can see we're drawing about 1,060 watts, which is a little over the 1,000 watt threshold that they state. And we're going to start the timer, and we're going to let that run until the battery is completely dead from fully charged, and we're going to see exactly how long that lasts. And as we get towards the end of this test, you'll notice that the wattage is starting to drop a little bit as far as power going to the heater, and that's because the batteries are just starting to get really low on their voltages of the last little bits of the test here, the very last end of it. And we actually end up running for about I think, let's see here. I'm going to wait for the video to tell me. I think it was about 55 minutes. Let's see here. You see, yeah, so about 54 minutes, which is exactly what you'd expect, drawing a little more than 1,000 watts out of an 1,100 watt-hour battery. When you're pulling that much power, you're going to expect to get about an hour out of it, and that's about what we got. So that performed very well, and you can tell that it will pull 1,000 watts through the entire cycle of the battery, which is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. I also did an experiment where I hooked up my heat gun and I actually pulled 1,200 watts out of this for about, I don't know, I think it's 3 or 4 minutes. And basically what I was doing is just making sure that you can actually use the AC side of this, the inverter, while it's being charged. So after I dropped a bar of energy there, I plugged it in, it's charging, and then I turned back on the heat gun and it does work just fine. So yes, you can use it while you're charging it, which is great. Okay, so final impressions. Pros. This thing is built really, really sturdy. I love the carry handles. I like the look of it. It seems like it's very well built. It took everything that I threw at it that was within its specifications. With the exception of the air conditioner, we have no idea how much that compressor surges on startup. So, and it did run it for an hour and a half. So, I like the button layout. I like everything that you can plug into it. I like the fast charging ports. And it performed exactly as it should. I was even able to push it a little over 1,000 watts through the entire battery discharge cycle. It has a lithium-ion battery chemistry. Lithium iron phosphate is, of course, a little bit better, but everybody's using lithium ions, and I mean everybody. And you can get thousands of charge cycles out of these. So, I mean, this could really last you years, completely discharging it and charging it up all the time. So I think it's perfect for camping, power outages. You can run a refrigerator for 8 hours. You could run your internet modem and you'd have internet, because a lot of times that doesn't necessarily affect your cable coming in if your power's out to your house. It's just you have to have your modem up and running and your router. So this could do that and give you internet, charging cell phones, laptops, all that good stuff while you're camping or in a power outage. It's going to work great. Small power tools, a little TV, everything that I showed you is going to work really, really well for all those applications. So all in all, it did everything that it said it was going to do. Now, as far as the cons that I see with this particular unit is I'd like to see more information on the display. I'd like to see how much watts are coming in when you're charging it with solar, and I'd like to see how many watts are going out when you're using it. If at the very least, like a time to empty estimate on there. So I'd like to see some more information on the display instead of just the battery bars indicators. Let's see, other than that, I'd like to see improved charge times, because with the AC adapter that they give you, it's 117 watts. Even so, that's going to take you 9-10 hours to charge it up. If you use the car adapter, that'll take you like 9 hours. And if you use the solar connector at 200 like full watts, you can get it done in 6 hours. I'd like to see those times doubled. So I'd like to see it be able to take 400 watts of solar so you can charge it in like 3 hours. And I'd like to see the charger that comes with it be a minimum of 200 continuous watts coming in, because I know it can handle that, and that would shorten your time down to 6 hours instead of 9. You know, so those two things is really the only gripes that I have about this thing at all. The solar panel that they sell for this unit, I saw in a different review, because I do watch a lot of other reviews just to make sure I don't miss anything and we're on the same page. And somebody else got the solar panel with this, and the solar panel looks really cool, actually. It has a really cool case, and it's really nice. It has lots of different connectors, and you can charge your cell phone directly off of it. So, but I didn't get one, so I can't review the solar panel, but it did look really cool. If all of this looks like it's something that you're interested in and it's in your wheelhouse, I will put a link up top that goes straight to Amazon so you can check out the price, see if this is right for you. And now maybe you have a better indication and more information to make a decision on whether or not this is something that's right for you. If this video helped you out, please like, share, subscribe. That really helps me out. Please click the little notification bell when you subscribe so you get notified when I make new cool review videos and RV videos and cabin videos and all kinds of other videos. So that about wraps it up. My name is Jim with Full Moon Adventure Club. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next video, thank you so much for watching, and happy camping.